are less than 24 hours away from the national championship Gamecock team opening up the 2011 season.
USC plays Santa Clara in a 3-game series starting tomorrow at 3. News 19's Michael Benning is here with a look inside the dugout for us.
Well, last year's championship was probably as special a sports memory as this state has ever seen. A few players admit they think about the championship every day. Others say they're focused only on the new season. In honor of opening day tomorrow, we look ahead, but not before looking back one more time. With each swing of the bat, each pitch thrown, each moment that passes, the 2010 National Championship fades a little further, and the start of a new season comes closer.
We know this is another year. This is, you know, a start to the 2011 season.
Can't really look back no more. We got to start a new season and start everything fresh.
We are at a point now that you turn the page.
Starting fresh is bittersweet. You don't have to look far to be reminded of the electrifying joy that passed through here just last summer, forever leaving its mark on an entire sports program.
We finally got one.
They've been to Omaha quite a few times, but they never had that last final game and walk away with a national championship trophy.
For the fans, even the state, it's much more than a trophy.
We represented South Carolina well, and we never gave up.
You see how they respond to, you know, sports. They love seeing this as entertainment. We enjoy doing it for them.
For a few, it also surpasses pure entertainment. For one boy and his family, the team's run to Omaha was as special a story you will ever hear.
I can't ever put into words, won't ever be able to put into words how much that meant, how much bigger it was than just a baseball game and a championship.
Now February, it's hard to move on, impossible to forget the summer of 2010 in Columbia.
I look back on it, there was never a time where we didn't get along, where we had any kind of negative energy around us. We had guys that would pick each other up.
We had all kind of team chemistry, and it flew throughout the dugout.
The team says they bonded perfectly, and it didn't take long before the 35-man roster picked up one more recruit.
We were his hero. In the end, he was our hero.
There was perhaps no bigger fan than 7-year-old Baylor Teal.
Made me feel like I must have done something right to have a child like him.
Rob Teal, Baylor's dad, says he had cancer already in its most advanced stage.
He was an inspiration to us, and for him to fight the way he did made us fight even more for him.
He never acted like he got the short end of the stick at all. He thought he was lucky and blessed.
Baylor fought his cancer, and he fought it hard. Each time he'd beat it, it'd come back, then he'd beat it again. During that time, Baylor spent countless months in the hospital, and instead of always going to the Gamecocks baseball games, the Gamecocks started coming to him.
It was one of those situations that just felt right, and he really became a part of our program.
I went to the hospital and met him, and the kid was pretty amazing, and he stuck with me.
One player, Whit Merrifield, had Baylor's heart more than any other.
You know, I just wanted to be there for him and his family, and you know, try to develop this friendship with him, and hopefully help him, you know, get his mind off of what he was going through at the time.
Baylor was a big Christian. He loved going to church, and that's what Whit talked to him about when he came up to see him. He talked about putting his trust in God and that he would get him through it.
Rob says out of all the players, Whit would spend the most time with him. Baylor loved the team, and he loved Whit.
And we colored that poster at the hospital. He put number 5 rocks on there.
There's a bouncer. Bobby Haney picks it up. Walker.
Then just as his team made it to the College World Series,
the doctors from New York called and said that there wasn't going to be any more treatment available that would help Baylor.
Baylor's fight with cancer ended for good.
He passed. It was, I mean, that's the worst day of our life and probably ever will be.
Coach O'Rourke told me, and I just crashed. It was awful.
Jeffrey Jones on deck.
That same night, the team found itself in a losing battle to Oklahoma. Jackie Bradley Jr. and the 2010 Gamecocks were one strike away from going home.
You know, I don't even think it crossed my mind that I could have been the last out. We do not like to lose, and you know, we're going to give every single fight that we can.
Like Baylor, the team kept fighting.
3-2 pitch. Base hit in the right field.
That's when all my family at the hospital and friends started saying, you know, I believe Baylor was behind that. The next night they decided to write BT on their hats in honor of Baylor. And Michael Roth, who had never pitched, started a game all year, starts the Clemson game and pitches a complete game 3-hitter.
2 straight victories over Baylor's rival landed his team in the championship. Pitchers threw flawlessly on very short rest, and the Gamecocks were 1 win away from a national title. Down 1 run in the bottom of the 8th, pitcher Matt Price says he called on Baylor.
I was just praying to Baylor, and I was like, I know you're watching after us.
Price says literally at that moment.
That's when, as soon as Bobby got that hit.
First baseman in the right field.
After that happened, I was like, all right, Baylor, just stay by our side and just keep watching us.
Holding the lead then fell on Price's shoulders.
When everything's on the line, you know what you need to do. I couldn't make a mistake whatsoever. If I made one mistake, it could cost us a game. We're never going to quit and never going to back down from a challenge.
Matt Price.
Then in the bottom of the 11th, that run stood on third base, with who else but Whit Merrifield at the plate.
It's a little bit like angels in the outfield. You know, you just feel like someone's with you. You feel like it's not real.
I know what's going to happen. I tell the guy sitting to the right of me in the stands, I said, that's Baylor's favorite player.
Coming up next,
Whit came up to me afterwards in tears, saying he felt Baylor's hands on the bat.
How one boy inspired a team.
Having him by our side is what drove us.
Who in turn inspired an entire state.
We're so proud. We're so proud.
And we talk with the players about doing it again starting tomorrow.